Attention Green fans, passionate about Philadelphia. Breaking news coming in. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could completely change the direction of the season. We're talking about a development that directly affects the Philadelphia Eagles' path toward another Super Bowl run. A potential power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. And you're hearing this here first. Before we dive into the details, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel and help strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're part of this family. Let's hit the mark of 3,000 subscribers together. Share this news with your friends and fellow Eagles fans. Now, let's get to the news. My friend, what just happened has shaken the entire NFL. A chain of events in Week 11 has completely flipped the Philadelphia Eagles' fate upside down. And, honestly, it could redefine the entire NFC playoff race in a way no one expected. There was a dramatic win. There was a major officiating controversy that infuriated fans. And on top of that, two important injuries that lit up a warning inside the locker room. But I've obtained exclusive information, real behind-the-scenes details that still haven't appeared on major news outlets. And what I'm about to reveal explains why the current situation for the Eagles is both perfect and extremely dangerous. First of all, if you truly love the Eagles and want to stay ahead of everyone else, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get ready, because what's coming now is explosive. The turning point of the season. When Philadelphia started the year 4-2, doubts arose all across the league. Analysts questioned whether the offense had lost its identity, whether the defense could remain dominant, and whether the off-field issues were finally catching up to the team. But after a hard-fought 16-9 win over the Detroit Lions in Week 11, that narrative completely collapsed. Now, at 8-2 with 4 straight wins, the Eagles are not only back in the fight, they look, for the first time in 2025, like the most balanced team in the NFL. And the timing of this rise couldn't be better. The perfect week in the NFC. Everything that needed to happen, happened. Seattle stumbled. The Rams also lost ground. And even though Los Angeles has the same record, 8-2, Philadelphia holds the head-to-head advantage thanks to that heroic Week 3 victory. The game where the Eagles blocked 2 field goals in the final seconds, a moment that now proves even more valuable. With Seattle and Chicago at 7-3, the entire NFC standings now revolve around the Eagles heading into Week 12. Dominance in the NFC East. And in the division, the scenario is even more favorable. The Cowboys are trying to survive. Washington is collapsing at 3-8. The Giants are sinking at 2-9. The Eagles have opened a 5-game lead over Dallas and could close out the division as early as December if they keep this pace. Simply put, for the first time this season, Philadelphia controls absolutely everything, from the number 1 seed to home field advantage throughout the playoffs at Lincoln Financial Field. But here's where the plot twist comes in. The controversy that shook the NFL. Despite the victory, one moment from the game exploded across social media and became a national topic. In the third quarter, the Eagles lined up for their famous tush push, or butt shove, the play that has become the franchise's trademark. But this time, the officials called an absurd penalty, false start on Tyler Steen. Except, the camera doesn't lie. The footage clearly showed the Lions' defensive tackle invading the neutral zone and disrupting the right guard's alignment. Even worse, he jumped early before the ball was snapped, a blatant offside. And yet, the penalty went against Philadelphia. It was so bizarre that even Lions players in the background appeared confused. In a defensive, low-scoring game like this, every inch matters. That penalty killed the momentum of the drive and may have cost the Eagles crucial points. And now, the narrative has shifted. For years, the Eagles were accused of cheating with the play. But after this embarrassing officiating mistake, the question is now, is the league trying to limit, or even undermine, the play that Philadelphia executes better than any team in the NFL? The NFL must address this immediately. Lack of consistency could cost a game, and possibly an entire season. The most concerning part, injuries. But while the officiating controversy took over social media, the real problem happened on the field. The Eagles finished the game with 2 injuries that could completely change the future of the season. 1. Lane Johnson hurt again. For the second straight game, the right tackle, one of the team's leaders, left with a foot injury. He was quickly ruled out, casting a heavy cloud over the sideline. Lane Johnson is essentially the soul of the offensive line. Without him, the run game suffers, and the tush-push loses power. And physical dominance is exactly what defines this Eagles team. 2. Cam Jurgens back in the medical room. He had just returned after knee surgery, and went back to the locker room late in the game, raising a new alarm. With Jurgens and Johnson out, the offensive line had to be reassembled on the fly. Brett Toth became the center. Fred Johnson stepped in at right tackle. Matt Pryor turned into the emergency utility lineman. It's alarming to think that 4 of the 5 starters appeared on the injury report this week. Only Jordan Mailata entered the game fully healthy. And you know how it is. Without a cohesive offensive line, the entire offense loses rhythm. Jalen Hurts' protection, the run game, short yardage efficiency, everything falls apart. The final test for the Eagles. Now the toughest stretch of the season begins. The path to the number 1 seed is wide open. The defense is playing championship-level football. But if the offensive line keeps crumbling, everything the Eagles built in the past month could collapse.